come here. Okay, sit. Oh, yeah, you slaughtered all over me. Hi guys, our Yetables. Welcome back to Yeti's Place. This is Yeti the Samoyed, and I'm Yeti's mom. And on today's Yeti's Place, Yeti had a lot of excitement at his daytime dog sitting house. Fred the Woodchuck and Fred the Woodchuck's family were there. Find out what happened up next on Yeti's Place. If you're new here, please be sure to subscribe. Click that bell notification. And to all of our returning subscribers, welcome back. You guys are the Yetables. So during the week, Yeti goes with his dad to work. And Yeti is dropped off at a house while his dad goes to work. And at this house, there's a woodchuck. Not just one woodchuck, but a whole family of woodchucks. And they've burrowed underneath this house. Yes, Fred the Woodchuck and his family of woodchucks have not dug one burrow under the house, but 4 big, giant, huge holes underneath the house. The house is gonna collapse on all these holes. They're like this big around. They're as big around as Yeti's head. The house has been overrun by woodchucks. Yeah, Fred the Woodchuck has overrun your daytime house. The house is gonna fall in because there are so many holes underneath this house dug by those woodchucks. And the woodchucks, of course, you can hear them racing around in the basement because they have an access point to get into the basement of this house. The owner of the house is a bit scared. They wanted something done about the woodchucks being underneath the house. And there's a family of woodchucks that live under there. There's Fred the Woodchuck, who's the dad woodchuck. There's Fredrina Woodchuck, who's the mama woodchuck. And then there's little baby Fred Jr., who is the baby woodchuck. Baby woodchuck, though, is a pretty big woodchuck. Yeti's human cousin brought over a big trap for the woodchucks. You like this story? He put lettuce inside the trap to try to trap the woodchuck. Yeti's dad came back to this house over lunchtime and the woodchuck was captured. But it was not Fred nor Fredrina who was captured. It was little Fred Jr. who was captured. And little Fred Jr. was hanging out in that crate, like super happy to see Yeti right there, right beside him, like, oh boy, hello Yeti. And Yeti was like, hello, little Fred Jr., how are you doing? So Yeti's dad called up his cousin, told him that, hey, we got Fred Jr., come get him, come release him into the wild. Yeti's human cousin came over, picked up the crate, and brought him little Fred Jr. miles away from the house and released him into the country. Yeti, I have fur all over my nose. So the next day, Yeti and his dad pulled into the driveway. Fred was outside racing around looking for little Fred Jr. Like, oh my goodness, where's Fred Jr.? So little Fred Jr. was caught because of all the damage that he's causing to this house and the worries that the house, Yeti fur everywhere on my face. Because of all the damage that he's causing to this house, but they could not catch Fred because Fred is smarter than the trap. Fred and Fredrina, very smart woodchucks. So they set up a new trap with like more food, more crunch in there for the woodchucks while the woodchucks were away because we didn't hear any noises under the house. Yeti didn't hear the woodchucks like racing around and neither did my husband. They're going to eventually fill those holes up with concrete to try to like prevent the woodchucks from coming back underneath the house. Hopefully we will catch Fred and Fredrina so that we can release them into the wild, miles away from this house, out in the countryside, so that Fred and Fredrina can reunite with little Fred Jr. and they can hang out and create all types of chaos out in the woods. So we got one woodchuck, which is a good thing, and the other woodchucks have since disappeared. We don't know where they are. They've probably gone elsewhere. So there is never ever a dull day at all in Yeti's life. Thank you so much, you guys, for being Yetables today. If you're new here, please be sure to subscribe and click that bell notification so you'll be notified of any new releases. And to our wonderful Yetables, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.